Gaslighting isn't always as straightforward as being told you're crazy, too sensitive, or can't take a joke. In fact, narcissist, more sinister and covert form of crazy making are some of the most damaging forms of this type of manipulation, designed so that they remain flying underneath of the radar without saying a word or picked up on by onlookers when out in public. So I wanted to shine light on what quiet gaslighting is and what it really looks like by uncovering 10 tactics and examples sucker punched by a gentle breeze. This tactic is one to which the narcissist makes a deliberately cruel comment or snide remark when around others or out in public, but disguised as a calm question given in a soft tone, setting the stage up so that they can put on their Academy Award-winning performance by triggering an emotional reaction out of you, only to then act completely innocent as if they are taken back and utterly embarrassed, trying to calm you down and get you to lower your voice, knowing that someone is bound to come and ask them later what in the world got into you, to which they can tie in any lie to go along with this proof of you being emotionally disturbed that they're going to use during your smear campaign, while they come off looking like the calm, cool, collected partner, getting a gentle hug from a cactus. More or less, this is a hurt and rescue tactic where the narcissist does something that they know will get you upset, only to then turn around and appear as if they have come to your rescue and to soothe your emotional needs, all the while continuing to casually feed you disturbing information that they know is only going to hurt you more. This gives them a little sadistic pleasure from the emotional whiplash that they instill in efforts to throw you off balance and tighten that grip on the trauma bond by creating a situation where you are emotionally relying on them for support, despite their being the source of your distress and what's causing you to hurt, so they can bit by bit cut off any outside support system, enforcing and enhancing isolation. Life is but a bowl of cherries. Narcissists know how to out-cherry pick anyone, handpicking only the sweetest details that will serve in their favor and back up their argument, because unlike George Washington, they have not one single issue with telling a lie and will rewrite reality however they need to suit their purpose and come off as the victim or victor, as well as you come off to be the one holding the hatchet, because they just can't get enough of playing devil's advocate for their own personal agenda. Oftentimes, this is done by taking the gist of something you've said, but repeating it back to you in a manner that distorts and twists your intent. For example, you go out with a group of friends. During the evening, the narcissist begins telling an embarrassing story about you that they know is going to upset you when you confront them later on about this, claiming that they were just trying to be funny. I mean, seriously? Are they not allowed to have a little fun every once in a while? Selectively omitting the hurtful nature of this embarrassing story. Instead, it's focused on portraying themselves as the victim, and you like some drill sergeant who forbids them to ever smile or have any fun, completely disregarding your feelings, and invalidate that they not only hurt you, but broke your trust by sharing this story that they knew was something that you found to be embarrassing or upsetting. The tranquil bee, which is similar to dog whistling, the narcissist may use this form of manipulation by making a subtle, very particular, specific message to you without anyone else noticing. Like, for example, in a work setting, your boss asks you to do something that is unethical, and you have questioned whether or not that this is really a good decision and aren't on board. Then later in the day, they start bringing up things about loyalty, that what their company wants are team players that value their company's vision. To others, just seems how happy they are to have such a great group of employees that are all part of the team. Yet, sending you a very clear incognito message that you better check yourself and fall back into line, using this form of gaslighting to threaten you to get you to behave how they hide and seek from hell. They hide your personal things while they sit back and watch you waste your valuable time going on a wild goose hunt, looking for something that more often than not is right there in their pocket, but pretending like they have no idea where you put it, secretly getting a cheap thrill as you grow more frustrated, feeling like you're losing your marbles with each passing minute, doing so for no other reason than to make you question not only your sanity, but your memory, or purely just because they enjoy seeing you lose your cool over a situation that they manufactured. Period. The crooked salesman. This involves the narcissist deliberately feeding you false information to persuade you to do something that serves their interest, but doing it in a way that you get the impression that they are really just looking out for you and trying to have your back. Like, for example, you've been offered one heck of a promotion, but you're going to have to relocate to another branch about 2 hours away. So in efforts to not lose valuable source to which they can take advantage of, make up some false crime statistic about the neighborhood and area that they want you to relocate, or tell you something shady about the company, making it appear as if they are just heartbroken to have to tell you such bad news because they truly were just so excited for you and this promotion. Squash your confidence like a spider cricket, refusing to acknowledge or compliment you on some big news or achievement that you share while hyper-focusing on a minor detail completely unrelated. For example, you find out that you pass your nursing board and can't wait to share the news, so you send them a text message. "I am a licensed nurse." They reply, "I notice you left the dishes in the sink again. Going forward, make sure that you clean up after yourself before you leave this house," driving your excitement and being proud of yourself straight into the pavement. Not to mention, now a little bit pissed off. So you reply back, "You're not even going to say anything about my passing my boards," only so they can flip the switch. Act like, how selfish and petty are you, trying to force them to acknowledge something that you better have passed. All that money that they just dished out for your education, undermining your accomplishments and successes, and erasing your reality of feeling accomplished, as well as make you feel crazy and bad about even wanting acknowledgement in the first place. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Using this tactic after they have royally fucked up, or when coming back to you with their Hoover maneuver, verbally expressing concern, appearing like they have all sorts of empathy and are so sorry for causing you pain, feeding you empty promises that they're going to be better, their utmost priority in having a better relationship with you. However, behind the curtain, failing to make any kind meaningful action to address the situation and have absolutely zero intention of changing anything at all, continuing to cheat on you and demean your character to others, using this tactic to create a false sense of security while perpetrating a harmful situation as they prepare for your total annihilation, putting the nail in your coffin with their smear campaign by making it even harder for you to seek support elsewhere. Not only is this tactic deeply hurtful, this form of betrayal completely diminishes your ability to trust others. You get to choose how you lose, using double binds to trap you in between conflicting demands, or a situation where there's no good outcome either way you go. For example, they may criticize you for being too passive, but then start belittling you when you assert yourself, continue to move the goalpost, making it impossible for you to actually reach these expectations, leaving you feeling unworthy and not enough, and determined to get their validation and approval. Keep trying harder, using this tactic as an assurance policy that you won't leave, as well as continue tolerating their abuse. Playing dumb, dumb, and dumber. Intentionally forget to do one thing that they know you're counting on them for, or have reminded them a million times. Not only be a huge help, but is just as much their responsibility as it is yours, yet you're the only one who seems to ever be doing it. And when they fall through yet again, will either feign ignorance by claiming that they didn't realize that it was that important, as you didn't really communicate it very clearly, or feign incompetence, like you didn't give very good directions and they just couldn't figure what it was that you wanted them to do, acting stupid, playing dumb, just so they can watch you get pissed off. Using this tactic as a way to avoid responsibility, increase your burden, as well as a way to fuel their sadistic pleasure by watching you suffer. They do not have your best interest, concern, or well-being at heart for 1 second. And that goes across the board from their children to their second cousin once removed. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship you have with a narcissist. The only way to prevent them from continuing to mess with your mind, distort your reality, and suck the life out of you as if they were drinking a milkshake with a straw is to cut them out of your life entirely. And remembering who you are is your power. Your power that these fuckers had no right to ever take from you in the first place, just so they can keep their delusional belief alive. Screw that. In your past is where they belong. Fight for you. Focus on you. Because, well, fuck the narcissist.